What's going on, henchmen? Welcome to the Henchman Club. In today's video, I'm going to tell you how long it's going to take for you to go from fat as fuck to fit as fuck. So there are two things you have to consider. The first thing is how far off are you from your goal? So that's like how fast are you? If you're morbidly obese, you're like 60, 70, 80 pounds overweight. Your case is going to be completely different from somebody that's just like 30 or 20 pounds overweight. That's the first thing. And then the second thing is, how patient are you? And how aggressive can you be in your weight loss journey? So we're going to talk about these two things. And these two things determine how long it takes for you to go from fat as fuck to fit as fuck. So the first thing is, how overweight are you? I mean, hopefully you have a scale in your house, you know your weight. If you, like I said, if you're morbidly obese and you weigh like 300 pounds, you try and get to like maybe 175, it's going to be a long journey, of course, because you can't lose all that weight. I mean, think about it, you gain that weight over a certain period of time. Let's say if you're 25 or you're like 24, 23, you've gained that weight over 23 years, you're just going to lose it in like 3 months. It's not possible. But if you're like 20, 30 pounds overweight, I'll tell you right now, if you start today, by the end of the year, you could have lost all, you could lose all that weight. So it really depends on where you're starting from. That's the number one thing you have to ask. You have to be honest with yourself. Like, how much weight do you have to lose? How much weight is it that you need to lose? Depending on the amount of weight you have to lose, that's going to determine how long it's going to be, because you can't, it's impossible. I mean, you can be as aggressive as possible, which is the next thing we're going to talk about, how patient you are. But no matter how aggressive you are, if you have like 80, 90, 70 pounds to lose, you can't lose that in a month or like 2 months or 3 months, unless you're going to do like lipo or one of them shits. But if you're going to go to the gym, it's impossible for you to lose all that weight. It's literally, I mean, minimum it's going to take like 3-4 months, and that's like, I mean, you're going to be doing like crazy. I mean, you're not going to be eating at all. You're going to be going to one of them like vegetable diets or something like that. And I mean, the chances of you doing that shit is like highly unlikely. So you gotta be honest with yourself. This process, when it comes to you transforming your body, you have to be honest with yourself. Like, can you actually, like, you have to look at your situation, analyze things, and then go from there. So if you're 20, 30 pounds overweight, if you start right now, you lose 2 pounds every week. You calculate that's like 8 pounds a month. In 4 months, that'll be 32 pounds. So you can lose that. You can lose that at the end of this year if you're actually like 20, 30 pounds overweight. But if you're, like I said, you're pushing like 60, 70 pounds of weight, it's going to take more time. And that goes into the next thing. The next thing is, how aggressive are you going to be? Because for me, I'm not going to lie, like when I was like over 230 pounds, I was trying to get down weight and everything. I wasn't trying to do that. Like, I'm not trying to be like fucking dieting and like have like me losing weight in my mind for like 7-8 months. That's too long for me. So I'm very aggressive. And that's actually caused some problems, which I'm going to talk about. But you have to understand that if you're aggressive, it's going to come with consequences, which you have to actually you have to be ready for and be able to battle those consequences when they come around. So the first thing you must do is you understand that, are you patient? Like, first thing you have to ask yourself the question: Are you a patient person? I'm not a patient person, so for me, I want to be as aggressive as possible. The minimum I want to lose every week is 2 pounds a week. I'm not trying to be doing like half a pound every week or like 1 pound a week now, because that's going to take double the time. If I can lose 2 pounds every week, I'm going to get my results faster than the person that's going to be losing weight. They're going to be losing like 1 pound every week, or the person that's losing like half a pound. Half a pound is crazy. I don't think minimum, because I mean, you probably have a lot of weight to lose. So losing half a pound every week, unless you're like, I don't see the reason why anybody's going to be when you're like morbidly obese. You got to be losing like 2 pounds a week. Or if you're overweight, 2 pounds a week is where you want to be. But that's depending on how aggressive you're going to be, because you understand that a pound of fat is equal to 3,500 calories. So if you're going to be losing 2 pounds every week, up to your calorie deficit, it's going to be 1,000 calorie deficit every single day, which is 7,000 calorie deficit a week, which is, I mean, that's a lot of food like you're going to be missing out on. So you have to ask yourself the question, like, are you trying to get the results quickly? If you're trying to get the results quickly, there are things you can do, but they come with their own consequences. Like I said, you're going to be eating way less food. It's going to be difficult, because most people, I mean, think about it, you've been eating a lot of food all your life, and then you're going to drop your calorie by 1,000 because you want to lose 2 pounds every week. That's a lot of, it takes a lot of discipline, and it takes a lot of dedication to do that. And most people can't do that, they struggle with this kind of things, and that's why they can't lose the weight. So you have to be honest with yourself. The whole thing about fitness is that that's why I keep talking about this challenge, that everything you're doing has to be you. You're the focal point. You are the only, you're the person that you're trying to solve your own problems. Don't take other people's solutions and try to apply to yourself. If you guys think differently, you have different lifestyles or different, perspective and stuff like that. You can't be thinking like someone like me right now. I'm trying to lose weight quickly. I'll go 2 pounds a week. But some people, they can't do that. They don't have the discipline, or they don't have the, they're not able to do that. They're fucking gonna go crazy. And for me, even when I try these things, there are also like things I have to do to make sure I don't fuck up at the end, because when you get the results, right, if you go like if you're in a very aggressive calorie deficit, when you get the results, you have to slowly build back up. If you just go back to your old ways, you gain everything back, which happened to me when I first time I went from 230 pounds to like 175. Literally in less than a month, I went from 175 back to 250. Because once I got to 175, I stopped doing the things I was doing to get to 175, and I just went back to eating the old ways and started eating 50 foods, and I gained everything back. So you have to, these are things you have to understand. This is like there's a lot of things, like even when you get the results, it's not over, because first like get fit and then you just stop doing everything you're doing. Like get fit, you gotta keep working out, you gotta keep eating right. Of course, when you get fit, you can start upping your calories slowly. But however, you still have to make sure that you're eating like in a certain calorie limit, because you don't want to now go back to your old ways and start eating like 5,000 calories every day. Of course, you're gonna gain everything back. Of course, like you stop doing the things you were doing before, you go back to your old ways, you get your old results. So this is why being aggressive too, it comes with its own, consequences, like I said. And that's the number one thing. Like if you're very aggressive, at the end of your journey, when you get the results, you have to be very careful that you don't go back to your old ways. So you have to, like for me, what I do now is that if I'm trying to go on a cards, I'm trying to like lose weight. When I lose the weight, I have a plan. I have an after plan for when I get the results. Because if you don't have a plan, he that fails to plan plans to fail. So if you don't have a plan for after you get the results, you're gonna go back to your old ways. It's just automatic, because that's how your brain works. Like the whole time you're doing all these things, you're forcing yourself, you're using willpower to get the results. You're just pushing yourself, and that's good. That's good. If you have discipline, you have the dedication, the commitment to do that, and consistency, great. But then when you get the results, you must also like have a plan for yourself to make sure you maintain that, because you can't just like free ball it, get the results, and just start chilling. I've made that mistake multiple times, and it literally took me like 2-3 times of making the same mistake to be like, yo, what the fuck is happening, man? How am I gonna lose all this weight? Because when you're losing weight, man, it's so like, it's very tempting, man. Your chick is gonna be like, yo, let's go out to eat. Your boys are, yo, let's go out to drink. You're just gonna be doing there's a lot of things. Things gonna be pulling you left, right, center. You have to just be saying no to all of those things. And then when you get the results, after all that dedication, all that like abstinence from all those things you really love to eat, the things you love to, the drinks you love to have, and then you just go back to your old ways and gain everything back, and then you don't have to do that process again. It's crazy. And that's the thing, most people, when they get the results the first time and they lose it, they go back, it's very hard for them to even go back again and do it, because now they're just like, fuck, they're defeated, and they can't now they don't have the mental fortitude to be like, yo, I still want that amazing physique, I'm gonna go back. For me, I kept on going back. Eventually I realized that I have to be very, very analytical and precise with the way I go about this weight loss process, because it's not just about losing the weight. You want to lose the weight and keep the weight off. You don't want to lose the weight and gain everything back and even gain more, because most times when you lose the weight, if you're not careful, you gain everything back and you gain more. Like I said, I went from 230 to 175, and literally I dropped like from August to like November. I was like, oh my God, I think something like that. I can't remember for sure. It was about like 10 weeks. I dropped all this weight and I went from 230 to 175. Literally from that around like November, before the year ended, like in December, like I remember like December 15th or December like 18th, I was already pushing 250 again. Literally, I gained back everything in less than the span of a month. It was so crazy. And I was so pissed, because I was like, what the fuck, man? I literally just spent so many months just dedicated to this shit, and I just lost everything back again. And this is gonna happen to you if you're not careful. That's why you have to ask yourself, like, you can be aggressive, you can decide, especially if you don't have, like, if you're trying to lose like 20-30 pounds. These are the people I'm talking about, because if you're trying to lose like 70 pounds, 80 pounds, regardless, it's gonna take some time. But the ones that are trying to be aggressive, that have like a certain amount of weight to lose, let's say you have like a wedding in December, or you go like a place you want to be in like in December, you want to travel to a beach or some shit, you're trying to lose all that weight, you can do it. But when you do it, like for example, you might do all that shit, like this happened to me too. Like I remember one time I lost all the weight. I went for like a holiday somewhere, and I literally on the holiday I started eating like a fat bastard, man. I was eating food. Like I said, I'd never eaten before. I was just down in meals. And I remember when I was leading that trip, I'd gained at least 20 pounds. And it's just them kind of things just so annoying, because they happen unconsciously, because you have to understand that someone that's losing weight, even though you have the discipline to do that, that's not your normal set point in your mind. Your self-image, like I've talked about in my other video. You're probably all your life you'll be eating a lot of food. So if you don't actually watch yourself and be conscious of the things you put in your mouth, you're gonna eventually go back to your old ways. That's why you have to, like, when you get the results, you have to have a plan, an after plan of like, yo, this is what I'm gonna be eating now. I'm gonna be following this diet. Of course, then you can be more free. You can like go back. You can start going out to drink. You can start going out to eat. But let's say during your cut, you're eating like 2,000 calories, and now you're done and you get your results. You're like hench as fuck and everything. And then now you go back to eating 2,500 calories. That's way more than 2,000. So you have like 500 calories to play with. And let's say you're gonna go out to eat, right? You gotta plan this shit out, like, you know, you eat like, let's say normally eat like breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Man, maybe just eat once during the day. You get a little meal during the day, because you know eventually you're gonna go out in the evening, you're gonna drink, you're gonna eat food, so like you're gonna get those calories in. So you don't have to like literally eat those 3 meals and then add like an extra like calorie dense meal, like go out and get drinks and everything, when plus the meals you've already eaten. So you get like your 2,500 calories, and then you not eat like 3,000, or like you eat like an extra like 2,000 at the fucking, you know, the restaurant or something. You have to plan this thing out. So these are the kind of things you have to understand. Is that that's why I told you guys, like, you have to have a plan for everything. You can't just like, you can't get those results and think you're gonna go back to your old ways and just start chilling. You can't chill, man. It's impossible. If you think you're gonna get results and just calm and just relax, nah, that's not how it works. You have to be conscious about this until you like in your subconscious become that fit person. You know, you become the guy that just eats like, you know, eats quality meals, doesn't really like, you know, eat like shitty food, stuff like that. And that's gonna happen, but it takes time, because remember, you'll be doing whatever you've been doing for like all your life, and you've gained all that weight. Even when you lose it, you still have to be cautious. You have to understand that you must be watchful with the way you're eating and the way you're doing things. So that's the thing about being aggressive, because when you get aggressive and you just go crazy, you can lose the weight, but most times all those cravings, all those things those things you've avoided for months, they're all gonna come back, man, and you're just gonna start eating them. So you have to be watchful about that. So these are the 2 things you must worry about if you're trying, like, how much it's gonna take. But if you're gonna lose 2 pounds every week, do the calculation. 2 pounds every week, it's 8 pounds a month. You know, like I said, in 4 months, 32 pounds. If you're gonna lose 1 pound every week, that's 4 pounds. In 4 months, 16 pounds. You can see that's literally half the result. So you can see why I said being aggressive for me just makes more sense, because I can't be spending the same amount of time and just be losing only 16 pounds when I could have lost 32 pounds at that time. But the thing is that even when you go aggressive, you must plan after you get the results, because you don't want to go on a crazy binge or like start down all the food you've been craving the whole time, you know? So you have to be watchful about these things. So you know yourself, like as I said, you must be honest with yourself, and this journey is all about you and this shit. So you have to ask yourself the questions and understand exactly where, you know yourself, man. Like you can't say you don't know yourself, because that's the only person you've ever really known in this world, yourself, because you know what the fuck you like, what you don't like, how you eat, your eating patterns, you know, like, are you patient? Like I told you, I've said multiple times, I'm not a patient person, man. I don't know how long I have on this planet, man. I'm trying to get things quickly. I'm not trying to be trying to lose weight for like 8 months. What the fuck? Like, man, imagine like having to think thinking for months, like having to focus on your calories and all that shit. Nah, man, I want to get those results so I can just relax and have a set plan for what I'm gonna live for the rest of my life. And that's what I've been working on. Honestly, I've tried this different times, and I think I finally got in the hang of it, because it was quite difficult at first. You lose the weight and then you gain everything back. It's so annoying. I did it multiple times, and I don't want you guys to make the same mistake. I want you guys to actually understand that even when you get the results, you must plan after that. But of course, before that, you have to actually be consistent. Go gym, eat right, be in a calorie deficit. You know that kind of stuff. Watch my other videos, but I'm not talking about the time frame, like how quickly can you expect to lose the weight. And also the thing about losing weight too is like you have to understand that it's not just from a calorie deficit. If you're doing cardio, when I say cardio, I'm not talking about like you don't have to be on a fucking elliptical, like a fucking bike or like treadmill, whenever that bullshit. Nah, if you get like 10,000 steps every day, like when I was in uni, I used to fucking leg everywhere, man. I'll be legging everything, you know. Like I'll walk like fucking classes. I'll walk to my boys' like apartments. We'll go chill. I'll walk to the gym. You know, I'll walk everywhere, man. So I used to get like 10K steps easy. But now I'm not in uni anymore, man. I don't get that many steps. So of course, like I have to account for that too. I know like my weight loss journey. If I'm trying to lose weight, I know my weight loss journey is gonna be a lot slower than it used to be, because before I just get crazy steps. Even now I'm trying to get some steps in. So after I go gym, I usually walk around the block just to get, you know, because I usually bang gym in my apartment gym. After that, I try to get a walk around, just if I get as many steps as possible, and then during the day, I just, you know, walk anyway if possible. But you have to account for all those things too. Also, if you play like sports, you play like basketball, you play like football, like soccer, you play football in the evening. So if you like go gym in the morning, you do all that shit on your calorie deficit, you bang, you know, you go play ball in the evening, basketball, football, whatever it is, you play any of those things, you're gonna be burning mad calories. If you're someone like that, then I could tell you're gonna lose weight quickly, because banging that gym, being in a calorie deficit, and then adding, so you go like boxing, or you do one of them shits, you know, jiu-jitsu, whatever, you do one of them things. Like if you do those things, then of course you're gonna be burning calories too from those activities. So if you actually have one of them, like I say, you play basketball, you play football, you have a boxing gym, jiu-jitsu, whatever it is. If you're martial arts, you know, if you're like in the martial arts, if you like doing something where it's like extremely, like, you know, like you're extremely active in the evenings, then you got a good chance at this shit. Like you lose this shit in like 4 months, man. You can lose all the weight. You just gotta be disciplined and consistent. Depending on where you're starting from, like how much weight you have to lose. And the second thing is, how patient are you? Like how aggressive do you want to be in your weight loss journey? So those two things, you add them together. If you answer them honestly, you can make a decision. If you have like 20-30 pounds to lose, if you're losing 2 pounds every week, you can lose that shit in like 4 months. So it really depends on you. It depends on where you started from and how aggressive you want to be in your weight loss journey. So everything depends on you, man. It's up to you. But at the end of the day, it doesn't matter how long you want to go, or how short or how quickly you want to get the results. The whole point is that you got to act, you got to take action. And if you're looking for a fitness plan you can use to completely transform your body, go from fat as fuck to hench as fuck, just hit me up at thehenchmanclub@gmail.com and I'll send you a free plan. But yeah, that's the video, guys. Hope you guys enjoyed the video and go out there and start losing the weight, man. I don't give a fuck how long it's gonna take or how nobody just get going, man. Because the one thing for sure is that the quicker you start, the quicker you get the results. So keep that in mind. But that's the video, guys. Subscribe to the Henchman Club, like the video, comment down below, let me know, what you want me to talk about next, and stay hench.